I'm done talking.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Oh, God. Welcome, everybody, to TechBrew Podcast. And we're brought with our very special friend, Grayson, on the mic.
Yes, this is me.
Good to have you.
Is our producer behind the scenes?
Quite.
Welcome to TechBrew Podcast, a podcast where we blend today's world of technology. We usually say aroma coffee, but usually now we usually record these in like afternoonish, so we'll just say your favorite beverage whenever
you can drink coffee at any time of the day. I won't judge.
But yeah, no one judges. I drink coffee
after 12 p.m. You're psycho.
But but we talk about thought-provoking discussions, trending news bulletin headlines, and just get together, discuss about it.
How to take over the world. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, anything that catches our attention, and just us three as nerds, and would say gamers too. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to bring up what I was saying earlier about AI use, and with how today, how much obviously just, it's going to be like a new, probably tidal wave generation of AI technology today. We keep saying advanced, but it's just like, what's the, more...
How do you get more advanced than that?
Yeah, how do you get more advanced than that with how much, I think we talked about last episode where it was like the AI marketing, just slap a AI sticker on it.
Right.
With everything now. And
right.
But the thing I, from a perspective, didn't think about at first. I'm sure some people have kind of been, talking about it for a couple of years already, but with how more and more and more AI we're getting, but it's just like, it's going to draw more and more and more power.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, it could be, but it's like we would need bigger stuff to consume that energy. Because, and it's also a competition too. Right. I think also with Google and Microsoft, I believe at the moment, because I mean both of them are very
they're giants.
Microsoft is like AI technology improvements on this, and the marketing strategy, and then Google is like, I think as of right now, I think Google's like slightly a little bit ahead, and they're trying to get know. But to me, I just didn't think about it. It was just like, and I think also in a YouTube video I saw of Donald Trump making a speech, and he was just like, yeah, with this upcoming AI technology, we're going to have to do something about it, because this is going to cause a lot of, more power consumption, and also water consumption. Yeah. And such. And yeah, tell about the like what Google has, like underwater kind of thing.
And I don't know if the whole system of what they have isn't necessarily specifically for their AI stuff. They've been doing this for years. But I would assume that part of their AI technology is involved with this because of how much power it consumes. But Google, and I can't think of any really other competitors or companies that are doing this, maybe Microsoft, but I know Google for sure, for years now, has been building server farms, which are just farms of computers. I mean, they're like, you see, like, if you ever like Google like server room, and you just see rows and rows of these stacks of servers, that's a server farm. It's just the room full of servers.
Like the video we have in our intro. That's a server farm. That's just a server room,
but a server farm is just a big server room. Google has for years been putting their server farms, which like actual physical buildings, just straight up in the ocean, like in the water. And the reason for that, from what I recall, there's two big reasons. Really, only two reasons you would do that. One is space, because there's not a lot of, you can only have so much space on land. But two is for water cooling, because one thing with computers, if you are, especially if you're if you're a gamer, if you're a PC gamer, PC Master Race for the win, you're gonna understand what like water cooling is, to cool the components of the computer as they're just constantly running at very high rates and speeds. So Google had the genius idea to put a server farm, several server farms, in the ocean, so that and they would pump the ocean water, which is very cold, especially at the depths that they're at. They pump the ocean water like through pipes into the building to cool servers, the server farms. Now I don't know if their AI servers, like the technology they use to develop their AI, I don't know if those are part of that ecosystem, but I wouldn't be surprised from based off of how much heat and energy is required to have these giant server farms, especially for AI, and especially for machine learning, where you have, and machine learning is essentially, that's what AI, that's the backbone of AI. You just take a server farm and you have all these computers essentially look up everything that ever exists ever, and it learns from it. It learns what it is. It learns how to recreate it. It learns how to copy it, how to use it as an inspiration. That's what machine learning is. It's the machines are learning. Now they're not going to just immediately learn to take over the world. That's not a thing. So Skynet's not happening anytime soon. But Google has for years now, for about a decade, I would say. Maybe not that old, but they've been putting server farms in the ocean underwater to help with the cost of energy and the space that's physically on land. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if that's something that they're actually doing with their AI server farms. I wouldn't doubt it. It'd be the smartest decision. I got mainly this from Wired.com article, and this says, even though Google's total energy consumption doubled from 2019 to 2023, Karina Standiford, a spokesperson for the company, said it would not be fair to state that Google's energy consumption spiked during the AI race. Reducing emissions from our suppliers is extremely challenging, which makes up to 75% of our footprint. She says in an email, the suppliers that Google blames include the manufacturers of servers, networking equipment, and other technical infrastructure for the data centers, an energy-intensive process that is required to create physical parts for frontier AI models. And this, So I know this information has probably been out for a while now, but coming across this, I did not think at all that, it would be basically required to have more power. Well, it's like one of those aspects, like when we were talking about like electric vehicles. The articles you hear about electric vehicles that you will always see as like the front article of a headline or anything is, how they're efficient, how they're saving energy, how they're saving the planet, blah blah blah. But you do the research and you learn the backbone behind that is, they got to mine the lithium to make the lithium ion batteries, which is really not conserving the planet. So in some aspects, electric vehicles are better for the environment, but what they make up for in that area, they're also just completely destroying in other areas. Now, if they were able to develop battery technology that's not using lithium or any mineral that is heavily being mined, then you could have somewhat of a case for actually conserving the environment. But that's kind of the same thing with like AI and computers. We are at the same time as we are developing new versions of AI, generative AI, machine learning, all these other variations of AI models. We're also building the infrastructure at the same time. Right?
Yep.
whether that's companies who are building physical server farms on land, or Google who's shoving them in the ocean. You know, you're gonna to develop these AI models and AI technology. You gotta find a place to put the computers that represent the AI. You know, I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but like when I think of AI, like prior to like when I was younger, right? Because they've had the concept of AI has been around forever. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I cannot do that.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, when I thought of AI, I would always think of iRobot, the Will Smith movie. If you recall that movie, they had an AI that was controlling all the robots, and it was just like a digital female just in this tube that would just like talk to you, and like that was the AI. That's not how AI works at all.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest. That will never be a thing. Just like cloud computing, when you know a lot of one of the newer technologies in our generation in the past few decades has been cloud storage, right? That's been there was a big push for cloud storage, and not a lot of people know what cloud storage is. Like, oh my gosh, like where's this information going? Your information is just being stored from your computer to someone else's computer. That's all that is. And as someone like me, who I do have some IT experience with job and education, you know, it's always interesting to kind of bring that up to people, that the cloud isn't just like information just goes up in the sky and then disappears in this infinite storage space. No, your information is just stored on someone else's computer. Now that doesn't mean someone else's like personal computer. That means your information is just stored on a server. So it's not just a personal computer, but that's all that is. That's all technology is. Technology is stored on a computer. That's technology. That's how technology works. Technology is always stored on a computer somewhere. Depending on the type of computer, you know, they got servers and all that, and that's generally the cloud. Cloud is just a server farm. Someone basically designs a building that just has a bunch of servers that whenever someone signs up for their service, your information gets put on one of those computers, and it just stays there. That's all that is.
Yeah, with
AI is the same way.
With Teslas, they're just computer on wheels, basically.
As I say, and I've stated this several times, I don't know what episode I started stating this. Everything is a computer.
Yeah, I think that was electric vehicles.
Yeah, everything is a computer.
Yep.
Which means everything can be hacked. Everything can fail. Not that happens. You know, I don't want to scare people. I think, oh my God, my photos are going to be gone now. My grandson's photos are going to be gone. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. But
sorry, Grandma.
Right? Yeah.
I've seen some articles a few hours ago, still with the outages going on right now with some airports.
With Microsoft, that's a topic we can talk about. I have information on.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen like with some airports, some of the stuff going down, they have to like
facilities.
Some airports have to like hand write stuff to like give information, or you know, the old-fashioned way. Yeah. And it's go ahead.
So if you do want the rundown, I don't know in detail what exactly happened, but I know a little bit, enough to at least start the conversation. A few days ago, there was a company called CloudStrike. CloudStrike offers a service called Falcon. That is their enterprise service for Windows Defender. Their virus software.
Anti-malware.
Thank you, anti-malware.
Yeah,
It's a business. It's an enterprise anti-malware service, like Windows Defender. And Microsoft works with Cloudflare to provide this service to a lot of businesses. Well, when CloudStrike pushed an update, it broke everyone's computer. Not on personal computers as much, because it's a service you pay for as like a business, and you get like a business plan, and it gets on. But seeing how it almost destroyed like the whole world, obviously it was a big deal. Airports were going down. Like you can actually see. They like, I know we talked about like how you can see like actively how many like satellites. are circulating the Earth.
Yeah, you could see airplanes.
You can see airplanes.
Yeah.
And you can see footage of when the service went down and all the airplanes had to be grounded because they didn't have flight they didn't have like flight path data. So they had to be grounded. You can see the exact moment they all went, we had to go land.
I saw something like that, and to me it of what it looked like, and yeah, I compared it to it looked like a big honeycomb swarm of bees.
Right.
That's what it looked like. And then one by one, they just all scattered.
Right. I was going to say, I follow a group on Facebook that's a bunch of IT memes. And a lot of people in this group are actually like hardcore, like senior level, like developers and stuff. So I don't understand a lot of the time when they post things. But some of the time, some of the dumber stuff I understand. Someone had commented that this, that the event of CloudStrike failing or basically almost destroying the world, they called it Y2K24 because that was the fear of Y2K. What happened with CloudStrike was what people feared would happen when Y2K happened. And they were able to, for the most part, I mean, Y2K did happen and it did crash several computers and businesses, but they were able to remedy it fairly quickly, and then it happened again. But this is a different. This is a different reason why Y2K was a whole different issue that they were trying to fix. But with CloudStrike, it's just an enterprise service that businesses sign up for to provide malware support and I think possibly even like a VPN and stuff. It's just an overall package. They pushed an update to their servers and it crashed everything. I even saw footage of New York City. You know how New York has like the giant, like the famous like billboard, like the digital billboards that always promote like new movies.
Oh, like Times Square.
Times Square. Thank you, Times Square.
Yeah,
all of those were down. Every single one of those screens were blue screen to death. Yep, every single one.
I wonder about the what's it called? The Las Vegas dome thing that
I don't know. I think that was okay. I don't think that
might
was
have been.
Yeah, that
or sphere. I think they call it
the sphere.
Yeah.
That's more of like a screensaver. If you really think about it,
Windows has crashed. A big black, a blue orb
with the frowny face.
That doo-doo. Yeah. Everybody's like,
experiencing some issues.
Everybody's like, what?
But yeah, pretty much all of the screens in Times Square did the blue screen of death. I think the sphere was saved though. But that sphere is expensive, by the way. That's another topic. That sphere is expensive to run.
It's funny because there's a certain billboard, I don't remember where at, but it's electric. It has like more
a
digital display.
Yeah.
And from one night I was coming home and driving right past it because I was like, oh yeah, that's the one. And yeah, it literally had the home screen of a computer on it.
Could have been why.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
And I was like, is that an advertisement? And I'm like looking at it while I'm driving and I'm like, that's
the Windows blue screen.
That's the Windows blue screen.
Yeah. So it caused a little bit of an issue, and it's really interesting to see how many businesses rely on CloudStrike. Because government agencies went down. Granted, the whole thing lasted about a day, but there was like confirmed government agencies that went down. Like, oh, well, now we know, what all these people use. But it's interesting. It was essentially, and it was all around the world too. It wasn't just the United States. But it was essentially Y2K24. I mean, Y2K did have a lot worse outcome in some instances in some countries, but this was essentially Y2K24. Never rely on everything digital, which is funny because I don't like physical media, like movies, video game, like on my Xbox, like the Xbox I have the Series S, which is a digital console only. They might have a physical disc drive version of it now, but the version I have is just digital, and I don't have space for physical discs like the cases. I don't have space for that currently, so I get all of my movies TV shows, everything's streaming, everything's digital. So if any of that crashed and we completely lost access to streaming and everything, I wouldn't have anything to watch.
I might have some pirated movies you can have.
Okay.
I keep a thumb drive for backup.
So if you want to know where he lives, U.S. government, his address is 123 Spooner Street.
You wouldn't steal a TV, would you?
Yeah. You wouldn't download a car.
Would you?
You wouldn't download a car.
Shout out to those people who know that.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, for Xbox.
Anyway.
And I think this was like a few months ago. I think it wasn't really that long ago, but they announced that, and yeah, it was a thing where people were very upset, and for Xbox to be like, yeah, for you to have this, it's like, okay, you don't. And then they're
we're
like,
loaning it to you.
we can take that back. You don't own it. And so, and then people were like, okay, well, I'll sue you for that. And
Right.
Xbox like,
You signed the
not
terms of
really.
service. Yeah.
you read that. I'm sure everybody.
Everyone reads the terms and conditions.
Oh, everybody
You remember Human
does.
Centipede?
Yeah.
South Park?
Oh gosh.
Oh, everybody does.
Oh, I remember this. I remember
But-
that South Park
Didn't
episode.
read the terms and service.
But for that, yeah, to happen and, not really read it all the way through. And so for them to say, well, you can't really sue us because this
agreed to it.
article, section, whatever,
Right.
it's like we have full, access to it. So sorry,
Yeah.
tough luck.
Yeah, that does kind of anger me. That at any time they can just pull a digital game. Don't have to give you a reason. Don't have to give you your money back. You just
Yep.
can't play it anymore.
I'm just going to start
Like,
buying hard
okay.
copies of old games.
Yeah.
Nintendo's really cool. I like how Nintendo has like built-in two-player and
Right.
how you can always have a physical copy of your game.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll probably just go back to getting my PS2 system out and
Right.
just start playing that.
I need to buy an N64.
Yeah.
Old school. I actually have an NES. I need to get games for it. More games for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have
See,
an
I
NES.
have a 64, and all I've got is Mario Kart, or not Mario Kart, Mario 64. And I'm realizing, holy crap, I can finally play some Zelda games that I've always wanted to play.
Yeah.
So I need to start getting some Zelda.
I'm sure everybody's still kind of talking about the outage and
Oh, yeah, it's still affecting people.
And yeah, it definitely is.
Because it crashed computers. Some computers to the point where they have to be reset from the beginning, like completely wiped.
Yep.
I would hate to be that IT person. I actually seen some people on that IT group where this guy had posted him and another coworker of his were in the IT department, and they had laptops behind them, and they're like, laptop 173 out of 3,907 complete. Listen, technology, it's not perfect. We can't make it perfect. It's never gonna be. It's always gonna have issues.
It has its problems.
Just keep your physical media, keep your physical DVDs, keep your physical games. Which is interesting when I say that, even new physical games, if you really look at them, like the disc, all the disc does, and it has since like the Xbox One, like the one from 2015, is it just has like beginning software that it downloads, and then it gets the rest of the game from the internet. So when I say keep your video games, I mean like Xbox 360 and younger and older. Yeah.
That's about where I'm at with it.
Yeah, anything Xbox 360 or PS3 and before, great. Those are physical copies of the game. They're physically on the whole disc. Anything after that, they have like a few installation files, and they just pull everything from the internet, which is why you always have to be, and I've never understood this, you always had to be connected to the internet to play games on Xbox, even if they were like single player offline games.
Yeah, I remember the first time I
Which is
bought an Xbox One, and I was given a copy of Doom 2016 with it.
Yeah.
Which is probably like, I've had it like 2 years or 3 years after that came out.
Yeah.
And I was like ready to put the disc in and start the game. And I had to wait 3 days to play this game. That's a single player.
I think it has an online feature though. Or maybe I think I'm doing Doom Eternal. I don't know.
Might have, but I don't remember it being popular. I just wanted to play the campaign.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on the disc. The disc was the key to the online download. Yeah. And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to bring up like what you were saying, just like how when we were younger, kind of how we interpreted AI in a way. And,
right.
And
for orb in the sky.
Yeah, for me, I would say like when I started at the time when I started playing Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
OG.
And a lot of the just fighting and things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't really know much, but at the time, like my imagination, but I was just like,
are these real people?
Is this AI? I'm like, is this what AI is?
Yeah.
You know?
So you can program it to do, if blank does blank,
then
I do blank. And that's if then AI coding. Which is what I've known AI to be. Is I always think of the elites in Halo 2 because they're very clever. It's like, you think you're going to go around the corner, sneak up on them. They jumped up on the box and they're behind you now.
Yeah.
Like it's some clever stuff. I remember Alien Isolation got very popular because of how smart the AI is, because you have to sneak around this alien that's trying to kill you.
I've never played that game.
I want
obvious reasons.
We got about 9 minutes, so
I have an idea. What is everybody's? This is off topic. This is more entertainment.
Yeah.
But last time I brought it up, like top 5 favorite games.
Has it changed?
No. This isn't like this isn't that. But this is another top 5
movies.
No, that's a good one. Mine was going to be video game soundtrack. It could either be you can include main themes.
That's a good one.
But you can also include like specific songs that play during specific instances.
I got this. You ready? Okay.
But you can go first. You can either do top 3, top 5, top 10, whatever you want to do. However many songs you got.
I got this. Okay, cool so the Halo 2 soundtrack. I will listen to that while I'm at work, or while I'm writing, or when I'm having a bad day, or when I'm having a really good day. I'll just listen to the Halo 2 soundtrack. Marty O'Donnell is a genius, and
certified goat.
Most of the Doom soundtracks, even the 90s Doom.
Oh, the OG Doom?
Good, but the best Doom song is called Tweaker, and it's off of Doom 3. And I got to show it to you because, it's got like a 30-second like build up, and then it's silent, and then it drops.
Yeah.
And I got to show it to you. Jet Set Radio is a kind of a cult classic game, but most of the soundtrack was done by Hideki Naganuma. And
say that 5 times fast.
You guys, Hideki Naganuma.
So they weren't
you
just like
a good subject,
right? So they weren't just like radio songs, like
like they were meant to sound like radio songs. Basically, what it is,
I guess that makes sense. Jet Set Radio.
Basically, what that is he's a composer that was really into underground culture, so like graffiti, hip hop,
like the underground scene,
break dance ciphers and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And the game was supposed to embody counterculture and stuff, and you kind of play as like this 13-year-old
kid,
rollerblading punk.
Because rollerblading's cool.
Yeah, listens to like remix hip hop. I need to, dude. It's some good stuff. I'll listen to that casually too.
That was 3.
Yeah, so that was 3.
You can go 3, 5, 10.
I'll keep it pretty short.
Stick with 5.
We'll just stick with 5. Because if we do 10, we'll be here for 9 hours.
Yeah.
Video game soundtracks.
And I don't have 10. I only have 3 in my head, so.
Also, hang on, I'm gonna look through your games over here for a sec.
Right.
Okay.
While you do that, I can come up with a top 3.
Go
I've got a top 3 already. And he's already mentioned basically 2 out of the 3, sort of. Obviously, number 1, which I think everyone can agree on, and no one will disagree with my statement.
Halo 2.
Halo 2.
Ew.
It's literally there's a reason why it is literally called the video game national anthem. You can go to any place in the United States and be like, "What's the video game national anthem?" They will just straight up say Halo 2. The Halo theme song in particular, but generally it's the Halo 2 theme song, which is just the same one as the first, it's just with Steve Vai. But yes, thank you for that angelic voice.
I was watching Grayson's in the back with his head tilted back away from the mic. Halo.
So Halo 2.
As my soul leaves my body.
You just ascend into the heavens of Halo. The Halo 2 soundtrack in particular, but specifically the Halo 2 theme song, because it's the greatest theme song that was ever created. And it will never be beaten.
Steve Vai.
Yeah, crazy Steve Vai. Second would have to be E1M1. Doom.
What was that? Oh, Doom. Yes.
Yeah, it's the.
Oh, I got to show you my Doom song.
It's a E1M1, which is the basically Doom theme song, but it's the. And then 3 is a really weird one. I've probably told you this one. I've probably mentioned it before, but 3 is from a video game that I've never played, and it's not even my style of game. But I saw Let's Players play it. Specifically Mark and Jack, but it's a 8-bit game sort of that I didn't really care to play, but it had one of the coolest boss fights songs in the world, and that is Undertale.
Oh,
Megalovania is like the coolest, most random song I've ever heard. If you haven't heard it, look it up. It just gives you that energy because it just starts off. I don't even remember how it goes.
Yeah,
and that's one of my favorite songs. I literally have 3 versions of it on my phone, like on my phone for music, and like one of them is like a remix, and it brings in like guitar because the original doesn't have guitar. It's all like it's all like 8-bit digital. But it's just like. It starts really cool, just a single instrument, single synthesizer, and then it just goes, and then just like this orchestra just comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So that's my top 3.
I thought of another.
Yeah.
Any Zelda game. I don't know
that's fair.
Which song was written. They're definitely not all from the first game.
No.
But they've carried on and been rewritten several times. But the specific song, Fairy Fountain.
Oh.
And there is a hip-hop remix done by...
That's an interesting twist.
I can't remember his name, but he has 3 albums named Zelda and Chill. And he does a lo-fi hip-hop of Fairy Fountain. And I will listen to that all day long.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll think of one more, but Evan, if you want to go.
I mainly got 3 at the top of my mind, but...
I got it.
Good.
My last one, Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned it in
The whole soundtrack's
the previous game, or previous
Episode.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's this weird niche of like classic punk, like from the 80s, early 90s that's like really aggressive. You don't hear it a lot anymore, but like there's like modern bands that they used to write and perform the music, like Fiddler. And
Fiddler's in that? I don't know Fiddler's
yeah,
in that. Oh, nice.
dude. And it's good music. It gets a little old after a while because it's a platformer and it's non-stop music.
Right. It doesn't. Yeah.
But it is one of the more quality soundtracks that I've ever heard. And there's several playlists on Spotify for just things that happen to sound like that soundtrack. So that's definitely on my list. Take it away, Evan.
That is a good point because I was going to say they just don't make stuff like that anymore.
No. Dude, the quality in gaming. Dude. And I know it's mostly a corporate thing with that. Like...
I wish we got that on camera.
Right.
Well, we're going to... My face.
Just the...
Yeah. You're just like...
Yeah, reenact it for me. Yeah.
This is what Grayson did. Yeah, what...
Reminiscing.
Reagan does my faces all the time. Definitely a problem with the investors of game studios because they get to say, I'm not paying for that. You guys are going to make this.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Sunset Overdrive 2 getting a sequel or the third Destroy All Humans getting remade or a new one of those games or whatever it is. And why Halo's kind of going down the toilet right now. If they could just focus on gameplay quality and soundtrack quality, you could make it look like whatever you want. It could be filmed on a potato in a toaster. But like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
They're not making good games anymore. They're putting the money into good graphics, and then they're re-releasing the same stuff over and over, whether it's Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, they're just
the past 4 Halo games. It's just the worst.
Yeah.
So
when it comes to just real quick, for me personally, like when it comes to like when we talk about like the Star Wars era, to me, Star Wars is 1 through 6. That's it. Yeah. Everything else besides Rogue One and The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the only 2 exceptions I'll give to that are actually canon in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Everything past that, no. Same thing applies for me for Halo. Anything past the Bungie era, not Halo.
Well, let me tell you
It's
this.
Call of Duty in a different skin.
Since we're on the subject of soundtracks,
Yeah.
Evan, you haven't told us your top.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and tell your
Good. No,
Okay,
good.
you're good.
I'm going to finish this real quick. Since we're on the subject of soundtracks, and I'm talking about quality of games,
Yeah.
when they released the first trailers of Halo Infinite, and they sort of redid the original
yeah.
3 Halo game soundtracks to really be a tearjerker and like pull at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
I wanted to give that game a shot so bad just for that soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And it flopped, but the gameplay was decent and the soundtrack was decent, and they just dropped the ball after that point.
And the thing is,
But that's all they needed to do to hook me on that game.
Yeah.
And that's not the most expensive thing you could be spending your money on in terms of production. So I don't see the problem here. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. So, 4th one. Yeah, so I got 4. I would definitely say 1, like I mentioned the previous one, but definitely Kingdom Hearts. I would say the first Kingdom Hearts from start to finish, and there's still a bunch of those songs that I still listen to this day because it's like it definitely just it makes me feel good, with my inner child, they say, because
it brings back the memories.
Bring back some memories.
That's Halo 2 for me.
Yeah.
It will be the greatest video game intro of the time.
I would say 2, Tack and the Power of Juju.
I
The soundtrack?
I
don't remember the soundtrack.
I completely forgot that game existed
That's a
until
good
just
game.
a second.
The
I remember playing
best that still gets in my head is there's a level where you have to get like these, not orbs or something, but you have to like collect out of like 30 or something, but you're in like a sand dunes kind of thing, and you're on like a ski thing, or you're
surfing.
But oh my God, that soundtrack is just it still gets stuck in my head to this day.
Yeah.
We should definitely play that, and maybe that's what we do on my channel.
Yeah.
I did think of a couple honorable mentions.
Oh, nice.
Think about this. Any of the Tony Hawk games soundtrack.
That's fair.
Any one
See,
of them.
When I think of soundtracks in particular, I think of like originals.
Yeah, originals.
But the Tony Hawk. That's why I didn't include GTA.
SSX3.
Yeah.
Some of those were remixes. Some were
Originals.
just songs from bands, and some were originals.
Yeah.
And that game, even SSX Tricky, they had really good songs that they licensed. And there was one more, but I can't remember. But
Oh.
That's why I didn't include GTA 5, which has a great
yeah.
soundtrack. But they're all just songs that are there.
I found some good songs on there that feel great when you're driving.
Not every station I vibe with, but there's like
it is a good way to try new types of music.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would say 3.
Yes,
I will go with Glover in 64.
Ooh, yes.
That is the most funkiest.
That just blew my mind. That
okay.
The games are coming out with. I'm like, I haven't thought of that since I was like 4. I forgot Glover was a thing.
Yeah, if you go back, it is the most funkiest soundtrack ever to me, in my opinion.
Right now, you guys can't hear it. I've got like one of these YouTube channels, like My Analog Journal, or This Is The Movement. But there's just dudes pulling records off the shelf and playing their favorite songs off their favorite like 2000s, 90s records.
Yeah.
And like,
oh yeah.
What if we just go through and review each other's like game soundtrack songs and stuff?
Yeah,
right.
That'd be fun.
A little copyrighted, but yeah.
But
it depends on which game.
True.
But and then one, I would probably say for just, and I know most people, but it's still music that I found very, and I'll listen to it too, like when I'm doing a project, or if I'm writing, or if I'm just trying to wind down, kind of thing. But it's definitely Minecraft. The Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft?
That's solid.
There's a couple
Tracks.
songs on there
Yeah.
that I would binge,
Yeah.
but I don't know what the names of they are. There's one that specifically happens when you're in like a snowy area, and it's like piano, and it's very calm, and it leaves a lot of space between the notes, and it's nice. And I don't know what it is. I need to find it.
I definitely think C418, the guy who made those, gets all of the credit that he so deserves because even back then, and the first time I started playing, I mean, just really quick, the first time I started playing Minecraft was actually when my brother got the PlayStation 3 system, and then shortly for like a couple of years it was still out, but then shortly they announced that Minecraft was going to be on PS3. So I started playing it on that, and that was the first time ever. And yeah, that was one of those games I played until the console was like burning hot and my eyes were red because I played it for maybe like 5 straight hours.
Gosh.
I thought of one. Spider-Man 2.
Like the OG?
Who doesn't know the meme song from Pizza Delivery? But even then, just swinging around the city with those really good mechanics and the hero soundtrack with the horns and everything.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's fun. That's a good time.
I love Spider-Man 2. The OG Spider-Man 2.
I was always so aggravated because like I had so much fun, while you're swinging doing front flips, back flips. But that was a cool mechanic because you have pizza on your back. So if you do that, there's a meter. And it'll show the pizza getting squished. Yeah, because you can't do that. You have to smoothly.
I think when it comes to Spider-Man 2, the one thing that we as gamers can agree on, and that's all gamers ever in existence. Did anyone ever save the balloons?
I did because I realized
I saved it like 3 times and then I just gave up because I was so annoyed.
I did do that because I got obsessed with finding out how many variations of dialogue there was. Different stuff would happen.
That's fair.
And sometimes you would bring a balloon back, and then someone would try to like beat up Spider-Man.
I know you were name dropping a lot of obscure games that made me I forgot this game existed. One of my favorite games was of all time. I can't remember. I think it's part of Rare Replay, so I think it's on.
It looks like it blew your mind when I said Glover.
That was like
64.
Yeah. Like all the memes, like have you ever seen the cats when they're just like, whoa?
Yeah.
But one of the games that I used to play with my brother, and I can't remember what console we played it on. I think it's on both PlayStation and Xbox. Now it's part of Rare Replay. Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever play Grabbed by the Ghoulies?
I don't think I've ever played that.
It was a pretty chill game. I loved it.
I remember there was a demo trailer on my disc for 2002 Sega GT and Jet Set Radio Future.
Yeah.
I did not get to play it, but I remember looking at the art style and saying that looks like a fun game.
Yeah.
So
also, I think
I did not play it.
One of the original Xbox kind of underground games that was also very goated. I wouldn't say underground because a lot of people know about it now. Fusion Frenzy.
Yes. Good soundtrack too.
Oh yeah. I love my favorite game mode. I had two of my favorite game modes.
It was Sumo and Trailblazer, right?
I don't know what
Twisted.
I don't know what those are by name, but I don't know the
one
names.
with the balls.
Yeah, I love the ball.
And then the one where you jump up the spiral.
Yes.
And then the one where you have like an ice trail and you can't touch anyone else's tail.
Oh yeah, the Tron.
Yeah, those are the 3 good
the
ones.
Tron remake. Yeah, those are the 3 that I love.
Yep.
I forgot about the Tron.
Did you know they tried to remake Fusion Frenzy for the 360? And it was bad. You should look up some YouTube.
Isn't there a second Fusion Frenzy? Isn't there a Fusion Frenzy?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I think
they made another one in like a sequel.
Okay, and no one liked it.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's ugly. They messed it up.
But yeah, thanks for sticking around, Grayson. Thank you for being here, as always.
Imagine we lost all of our subscribers after this. I'm like, unsubscribe.
Nah. But as always, thank you for sticking around. Please like and subscribe. It's free. Do it. It only takes you 2 seconds.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Make your dreams come true. Shout out to those people that know that too.
If you wish upon a star.
But as always, drink coffee in moderation.
Or
and don't
any
take
carbonated drink.
And
don't take drugs from strangers. They're expensive.
Right.
Text me when you get home.
Right. Yeah.
Don't get pulled over.
You better text me when you get home.
Don't drive tired.
So
I'm looking at you, Joe. What was the name?
Rogan?
No, what was
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Jason.
I'm coming for you.
Is there a guy that commented named Jason?
No, I just randomly made it up, and then I just mentioned that there's this mysterious Jason.
Anyway,
That's fair.
drink coffee in moderation and don't take internet content at face value. We will see you next time.
Peace. And good.